He's Stonebraker and he does stuff, yeah. Feel the hum of the wheels out there. Not perfect, but he dares to dream. Hit that subscribe, make that bell scream.
What's up, YouTube? So begins another video. Today's date is Monday, April 13th, 2026. This is the 14th anniversary of my first day at work. So kudos to me for surviving 14 years, and also shame on me for surviving 14 years in the same role. Most people try to promote, not me. I don't like change, so I'll just stick with what I'm doing. But anyways, guys, it's 6:05 p.m. The weather is amazing. Actually wearing a short sleeve t-shirt. It's about 82 degrees. The sun's kind of been coming and going most of the day, but there's a light wind, so it is just absolutely perfect e-bike weather, perfect weather to be outside. And I can definitely tell that it is spring season, because the evil carpenter bees that have terrorized me for 7 years in my apartment, they've now come back in full force. So that means it's time to rig up some more fake hornet's nest. Probably be doing that later this week. Hang those bad boys up. I will tell you what, that was a Google recommendation to take a brown paper bag, shape it like a hornet's nest, put some stuff inside of it to form it, and then hang it by a string. And by golly, it worked perfect. So kudos to hornet's nest makers. I'm giving a lot of kudos already in the video. Shouldn't be giving too many kudos until the video is about finished. I have absolutely no mission today, nothing to talk about. Last time I was on the bike, and I'm on the Mokwheel, by the way. The reason I'm on the Mokwheel is because the Titan, the VICTRIP Titan S, long-range e-bike that I've been riding for the 2 weeks since I've had it. Nothing wrong with it or anything like that. It finally capped out on the battery. So 60 amp hour battery. How many miles did I get on it? Well, just watch this. All right, so on the VICTRIP Titan, it is blinking and it is almost dead. So 96 miles, we're probably gonna get about 97. So I can't remember if that was Thursday or Friday. I've ridden every day over the weekend. Some long rides too. I've been riding like 15 to 20 miles through town. I've not recorded anything. Didn't really feel like the videos would be that entertaining, and it is nice to just ride sometimes. Listen to 80s hair metal, followed by some Tupac, and then followed by Shania Twain. And that is not me making that up. That is the order in which Spotify chose to play my music. I remember that because I was like, yo, DJ, spin my shit. And it, I guess it knows that I like 80s hair metal, which I do. I didn't know I liked Tupac, but I guess I do. And Shania Twain, I really didn't know she was even alive. So yeah, it's the joy of Spotify. But it's nice to get out and just ride a little bit. And I rode it a lot, the VICTRIP Titan, and as you can see there, I think I'm gonna call that at 96 miles. I probably had to pedal myself the last mile and a half, and I'm gonna say that is not fun. So that is a really heavy e-bike, and it's because that 60 amp hour battery weighs like 80,000 pounds. So if you can bench press 80,000 pounds, that bike is nothing. But it's a heavy bike, and trying to pedal it without any type of assist is not fun. I got my little workout, and I also dropped a cinder block, half of a cinder block on my right toe Saturday while my town was having the town-wide cleanup. I told you guys in the last video that I had to take some stuff out to the side. Well, I took a half-broken cinder block, and it slipped out of my hands and fell on my toe. So it's all black and blue. It's probably broke. I think they should just probably cut it off. You know, just cut it off. Put a I don't know, rubber hose or something at the end of it. One of those old early 90s Terminator hands, you know, if you guys are of my age, you remember in the early 90s when Terminator 2 came out, and one of the hottest toys, at least I thought it was one of the hottest toys, was the little hand. I'll put a picture there. Yeah, just give me like one of those for my toe. So a little bit painful, but nothing that's gonna stop me from getting on the e-bikes. But with the Titan, yeah, like 96 miles, and I'm very confident to say that when I do my range test on it, we're gonna keep it 18 miles and below. We're not gonna try to throttle. There was quite a bit of throttling on that first battery charge, so there was way more throttling than what I would typically do. So I'm pretty confident to say that we got very close to 100 miles. I think we could probably get at least 110 realistically, maybe more. It just depends on how much of the pedal assist and throttle that I use. So very impressed. Obviously you're not going to get 180 miles like they promised. Now maybe if I weighed 47 pounds, chopped off my painfully bruised toe and rode it on pedal assist 1 on the yellow brick road with no wind and munchkins cheering me on, maybe then we get closer to that, but I highly doubt it. But I'm perfectly content. Like even 96 miles, that's still a long ways to go, even with a little bit of pedal assist. So no regrets on that purchase. I do wish the suspension sucks. Like there's no ifs or ands about it. If you're looking into buying that bike, you know, if you're handy, maybe look into like fixing the suspension and stuff like that if you know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, you know, just suffer like I do. Or, you know, you can do the old school way, which this is a way that, you know, my great grandpa used to do. His ancestors taught him how to do it on e-bikes. So a little cheat is if you got terrible suspension on your e-bike and you've got a trail like I do, not this part of the trail, but you guys know the crappy part I'm talking about. You know, you can always do this. Stand up on your pedals, throttle it, and it will definitely alleviate some of the pain. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like Jack Dawson on the Titanic right now. Just kind of standing at the top of it, you know, king of the world. Unfortunately, I don't have a attractive 20-something up here with me, and we're not surrounded by a dangerous ocean. I'm surrounded by a building that has been abandoned for years and another building that has been abandoned for years. But in the defense of the bowling alley right here, they were going to reopen it about a year ago till it caught fire. And I got a video on that somewhere. Maybe I'll post a screenshot or a screen grab if I can still find it. But yeah, I was out here and like cops are everywhere, and yeah, you know, just a fire, no big deal. But I would assume that it wasn't like huge, but they were gonna open a little restaurant right there, and some new guy bought the bowling alley. But yeah, I think the fire kind of put a big axe on his plans. All right, so we're gonna head up the vicious Indiana incline. Last time I was on this, the GoPro died. See if it does it again. I hope not. And thank God it did not die. So yeah, so this is the week that I've been waiting for probably like 6 months actually. Oh man, freaking windy. But I've been super smart. Like, you know, I joke around saying that I make terrible financial decisions, which I do. But I'm also smart enough to know, like, okay, this needs to happen with this needs to do that. So especially with the possibility of me having to look for a new home if my apartment complex gets sold. There's absolutely nowhere in town to rent right now, and anything that may be available is quite a bit more expensive. So, but anyways, yeah, that will definitely help out with every situation in regards to a new house. We'll actually drive by a house. I'll show you guys a house up here that a local guy he's a flipper. He buys houses cheap that somehow no one else knows about, and then he flips them, and he used to sell them, and then he rents some of them out But then he has gotten into like selling houses on contract, which, like, I mean, I don't blame him, but some of the terms he has is he wants a pretty hefty amount down, which, whatever, I don't think that that's anything crazy, you know? But he's one of these people that if you're buying it on contract, and I'll give him credit, like the rent for this place, because he just remodeled it, is not bad. Like, it's still more than what I want to pay, and it's still more than double what I pay now. But in my town, it's definitely not bad at all. But he posted it for rent, for sale, and the sales price is actually pretty good too. I'll talk about that. Or for sell on contract, which I think that is probably what he wants to do. Because with his terms, he gets a pretty hefty amount down, and he gives you 2 years. So he gives you 2 years buying it on contract. After 2 years, you've got to get your own financing, or he takes the house back. So, you know, he gets $10,000 down, and then he gets, I'm trying to do the math in my head. Math was never my greatest thing. So it's $1,000 a month. So $12,000, $24,000. So he would get $34,000 between your, well, that's not even including the deposit. So yeah, so if you give him 10 grand down, and then the rent's $1,000, which I said is not terrible for my town. So he gets $24,000 in rent after 2 years, and plus he gets your $10,000. $34,000 you've given him over 2 years. And if you cannot get your own financing, the house goes back to him, and he probably just does the exact same thing. So he's gotten into that a lot, but he's smart about, like, you know, who he does that to. I know he's done a few houses like that, and after 2 years, the people have not been able to get their own financing, so they just completely lost out on money. But it's for sale for like $140 in my area. In this little jank town, that's really good. There's hardly any houses that are worth a crap that are under 200,000. It's this house right here. You can kind of tell it's got the flip look to it. $1,000 a month. So this is the house, and it's pretty tempting. It's got a garage attached to it. It's got a nice size house, 2 bedrooms. There's room for a fenced-in backyard. So I thought about even asking him just about renting it, but he's also the type of guy that he could be renting it to you, and you're like, okay, this ain't bad. And then someone could come up to him the next 6 months later and say, hey, by the way, I'm gonna buy it. And then he's like, oh, you know, you gotta go. You're renting it, I can sell it. So too much of a gamble. But it was just funny because I've been thinking about the housing situation all day, and there's like nothing for rent. And then I saw him post that, and I'm like, man, that's perfect. And I could do $1,000 a month. That's, you know, $550. I only pay $450, which is why I'm devastated, because I got such cheap rent, and I don't have the nicest place, but it's perfect for me, and it has everything I need. So, but I could do $1,000, but I do have that fear of that happening. And I've been at this apartment for 7 years, so. And it may not even sell for a while. You know, they're not even putting it on the market yet, but I just want to get ahead of the game just in case. So I know this probably isn't the greatest video I've ever done, guys. I appreciate you just watching the video anyways. Not really a whole lot to talk about there. I'm excited though, as all can be, about this week. Paying off a lot of stuff, and then you know, leaving a little bit of money for myself to get some things that I enjoy, that bring me comfort and bring me some happiness. So we're gonna get stuck at this red light forever, because this light is not gonna be able to recognize the bike. So let's get up on the sidewalk here. And then we'll get back on the road. But yeah, just a pretty relaxing type of day. And I guess we'll just go back here. Man, I'm just like constantly riding in the same spots here. I will spend this week though figuring some things out with the bikes. I'm gonna get 2 bikes for sure, and you know, one's set in stone, it's written in the stars. It's basically like a firm handshake where you know it's a done deal. But I need to decide what I want to get for the 4th bike. I want it to be a 20x4. I would like, man, I'd like to get a torque sensor, but those are expensive. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, so I appreciate you coming out here, going on a ride with me. Just a late evening, got off of work, didn't have anything going on. Figured I've been riding these bikes for 4 or 5 days in a row. Haven't recorded anything the last 3 or 4 days, so we'll get this out. I don't know if this is gonna come out on Tuesday. I don't know if I wanna do some editing tonight. Maybe I'll do editing tomorrow. But this week, today's Monday, almost over. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I'm one of the people that waits to the last minute to do taxes. So I've got to do my taxes after work. So no video, nothing tomorrow. Wednesday is the day where I'm going to be taking care of all that loan stuff and yada, yada, yada. Thursday, my niece has a volleyball game. So probably Friday might be the next time I get out on the bike. That's kind of why I got out today. Even though nothing intense was going on, nothing exciting. But Friday may not, you know, if that situation comes through quicker than expected, you know, may not even get out Friday. And weather, I haven't even really taken a look at the weather. It's supposed to be warmer, but I think there's always a chance of rain because in Indiana, April showers bring May flowers, and it also brings not suitable riding conditions for old Stonebraker dust stuff. But all right, guys. Just like the squirrel, we're gonna go ahead and run away from the video. But thank you for spending your time helping me waste my time on the Mokwheel Basalt. Stay tuned to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, leave a comment, all that good stuff, and help me in my ongoing battle with the unknown Florida e-biker guy who is like 30 subs up. We gotta get caught back up with him. So, all right guys, see you in the next one.